Hey everyone, this is Sailor, and this is a video about my characters for Miss Emily's Schools for Excellence, which is by the wonderful Pecaro. She recently made a video about how she was flattered that a lot of people were wanting to make characters for her world, and when she was describing the former alumni of the school, about how some of them still have half their power, about how some of them run away, immediately the gears in my head started turning. I think I said a little bit about this in an earlier video, and the reason she is here is no, Elizabeth is not a part of Miss Emily's School for Excellence. That's a completely different world entirely. However, this girl has decided that she is not Elizabeth. That she is a different character entirely. Which is okay. I sort of thought that. She's a little too young looking for the character. So I'll probably reshell her in another Hujo action doll, but one that looks a little more mature with a larger bust. But yeah, this girl is Iris, who is a former alumni of Miss Emily's School for Excellence. The reason she was sent there is because of her power, which is the ability to control plants and the earth, and things of that nature. She had known her powers for a long time, but had kept it secret, except for with a handful of people who she considered friends. And then one day she was at school, and a guy wouldn't leave her alone. A football player wouldn't leave her alone, kept messing with her, kept jokingly hitting on her, and she told him to leave her alone, and he wouldn't. And when he wouldn't stop, and he started putting his hands on her, she pushed him away, and all of a sudden a vine grabbed his arm, and she ran off. And then later that day, she was sent to the principal's, or asked to go to the principal's office, and the football player was there, and had basically said that she had attacked him for no reason, which wasn't true, and she knew it wasn't true, and she tried to say it wasn't true, but of course the principal's going to believe the football player, because where she lives is a small town. So if anyone's ever lived in a small town, you know exactly how that goes. And she was trying to plead her case, and the principal was like, "Oh, you think I should believe that, blah blah blah." Well, she got mad and had yelled, "I'm not lying," and the entire room started to shake, knocking things off the walls, etc. And she ran out of the room, knowing exactly what was going on. She was later had went to her locker, and or had went outside, not to her locker, and was followed, and to get away, she had made more vines come out of the ground and grabbed them and ran off. And obviously they kind of figured out what was going on at that point, and they told her mother, and she was suspended, and they sent her off to Miss Emily's Schools for Excellence to get rid of her powers, which she was not happy about. She knew, what the school was there for, to get rid of the powers. Everyone had told her that. So she didn't want to get rid of her powers. She's sort of an idealist, and always thought, well, maybe she could help people. You know, maybe she could be a superhero and help people. But that's not the case. But yeah, and she many, many times tried to run away, but failed. I actually, while developing her story, had come up with two more characters. Siren and Bethy. Siren is the nickname. I don't quite know an actual name for her, but the reason her name is Siren is because when she wails, when she screams, it can get really like deafening, and she can break things with her voice, and like a supersonic boom almost with her voice. And she actually wants to get rid of her power because, you know, you're upset and you're crying, and nothing sucks more than breaking all of your things because you do so. Although she's good friends with Iris here, and tries to convince Iris that it's a bad thing to run away and that, you know, they can't be superheroes. Why would that ever work? And then both Iris and Siren are about the same age, 15, 16. Bethy is younger. Bethy is 12, 13. Bethy's powers are very unique. She can basically make like imaginary friends come to life. And what I mean by that is like little bitty creatures, like little bitty fairy creatures and things. They never last for long, an hour tops. And usually she'll draw the creatures and they'll come to life, and sometimes they're more like doodle monsters. It's a combination of her imagination and her drawing skills. And her drawing skills aren't fantastic. So a lot of the time these fantastic creatures that are in her head just turn out to be doodle monsters. And she has created a few little fairy creatures. There are a couple that actually don't disappear. That if I ever shell her, I was thinking about, I just had the sculpt for the little fairy creatures, and I can't think of them right now. I'll leave links in the description. But yeah, there's that, and she tries to run away, and the Iris has been trying to run away, and so has Bethy. So eventually, I'm not sure if Bethy ever escapes, but I know Iris does, and it was a little too late for her. She can still occasionally make minor tremors, not as crazy as it used to be, but tremors. And I'm not quite sure if I want to have the effect the greater effect like I was thinking, but I may change it, I may have it the same. But I was thinking about when she escapes, she doesn't make plants grow anymore. However, she kills them. So if she was to touch a rose like she normally would, and it would bloom fully and be beautiful, it dies, it withers and dies. So if you could imagine, after her leaving, she was traumatized and moves to a huge big city where there aren't a lot of plants, so that she can't kill them. However, her house is full of fake plants now. Faux plants, because you can't kill fake plants, but she still wants the look and beauty of the plants, even though she knows they're not real. But yeah, that is a bit about her. She is wearing a little bit different than what I had her in Elizabeth, when she was Elizabeth. I gave her different eyes. Iris has green eyes. However, these are a little big for her. I think they're 18 or 20 millimeter, and she wears 14, so they're a little sunken in, but I do have some 14 millimeters that are supposed to show up. They're from overseas, and I'm thinking they're stuck in customs right now. My tracking sort of stopped around the time I think they got out of China, so what can you do? I cut her wig a bit more because it's originally down to, when I originally got it, it was down to here, and then I cut it again for Elizabeth up to here, and then I cut it to about mid-back for her, for Iris, and then I put it in pigtails, and I changed her clothing. Because while I love that sweater, I don't quite think it'll fit for Iris, because Iris wears more of grungy, tomboy type style. So yeah, that would be more of hers. But yeah, so on to some updates. Like I said, I made this top and this little vest from some fat quarters that I believe I showed in one of my earlier videos. I got this blind bag, or blind thing, from an Etsy shop, an Etsy seller who had a bunch of her stuff, had a couple of blind bags where you paid like $10 I think, and then $12 or something like that, and you get like $20 worth of stuff, which was really cool because I liked a lot of her stuff. But I had gotten a boy bag for Thrush, and he only will wear one of the things, because surprisingly the other stuff looked more girly. But out of that bag, she got these. She will eventually wear, her wig fell off. This, I'm thinking about tea staining it to make it a little more rustic, and maybe taking some sandpaper to it a little bit to distress it. The thing he did get were these white pants, which will definitely be tea dyed because they're entirely too pristine for an orc. So yeah, he got these, so he finally got him a pair of clothes that I didn't throw together. But like I said, they will be tea stained and distressed a little because they're too pristine for him. Entirely too pristine. But yeah, I believe that is the updates for now, and that is everything. When I get more on the characters and more for her, I will let you guys know, and I will make more videos. Alright guys, bye!